We've got some big breaking news coming in from Supreme Court. The sealed envelopes have opened before the court. CBI documents state that Karti Chidambaram closed almost 6 bank accounts in June, July this year when he went abroad. And Supreme Court adjourns the plea on Karti travel ban. That's what we're first breaking on Republic. We'll also give you inside details of that hearing which just got concluded a while back. Perhaps Nalini giving us those details. CBI has made some allegations of evidence tampering and Supreme Court adjourns plea on Karti travel ban. Nalini, what does this mean? Put this in perspective.
The sealed envelopes that the CBI has been trying to submit justice, where some shocking details have been revealed. Of course, the Supreme Court did not divulge into the details of exactly what was there in these sealed envelopes. But at the same time, they've made some statements regarding exactly what these details contain. This was the evidence that was gathered by the CBI during the time of the investigation in the case. And it has come out that apparently Karti Chidambaram had closed about 67 bank accounts during the course of his travels in June and July this year. In addition to that, the CBI has also gone ahead and made some allegations of evidence tampering against Karti Chidambaram, stating that it's for these reasons that he should not be allowed to go abroad. Of course, all of the details that was there in the sealed envelopes were not pronounced in open court, considering the fact that the investigation is still underway. But despite that, the Supreme Court has still not given any relief to Karti Chidambaram. The lookout notice against him is still very much in place. And in fact, the Supreme Court has now asked the CBI to take instructions on even if Karti Chidambaram is allowed to finally go abroad, because since August 28, the CBI has not called him in for questioning, then in that case, can certain restrictions be imposed upon him while he is abroad or not? That is what the CBI will have to now reply to on the next date of hearing, when the case is going to be heard further and the fate of Karti Chidambaram as travels abroad is going to be decided.
All right, Nalini, let's stick to the story. Let's get some more details. You have been on a number of occasions. In fact, the only reporter who's confronted him multiple times. Nalini, what's the sense that we are getting as far as these observations? You see, there are very strong observations made by Supreme Court as far as Karti Chidambaram and the entire INX media case is considered. It's a setback for Karti Chidambaram, isn't it?
Definitely, Sakal. Karti Chidambaram has been fighting for some kind of relief from the Supreme Court for several days now, where he has been asking for the lookout notice against him to actually be quashed. But despite hearing after hearing, the CBI presents new arguments every day. And despite Karti Chidambaram's continuous efforts, the Supreme Court refuses to quash this lookout notice that is issued against him and allow him to travel abroad. In the beginning, he was making an emotional plea of how he wants to travel abroad to get his only child admitted into Cambridge. In the last hearing, we saw that he'd come up and stated that he wants to attend a lecture on the rule of law in Pakistan, which is why he wants to now travel abroad for about 4 to 5 days in December. So continuous pleas by Karti Chidambaram, none of them being taken into account by the Supreme Court because of continuous efforts from the CBI in actually breaking down Karti's case and proving that there are enough allegations against him to not allow him to travel abroad.
All right, Nalini. Yes, Nalini, we keep talking about this, especially, this line coming from Karti Chidambaram at the very onset of these crucial hearings. He has been really pushing for his tours abroad. If you remember, the very first day when his residences were raided in Chennai, he left for UK after a few days. I mean, why is it that he's been pressing for this abroad travel to UK?
Precisely the doubts that CBI has, Sakal, in fact, in the Supreme Court. In fact, we heard it from ASG Tushar Mehta, who was the counsel for the CBI himself, state this very same thing before the Supreme Court bench today, that the vehemency with which Karti Chidambaram is actually asking to go abroad actually proves that there is some distrust in his actions. Because initially, like I stated, he was asking for his child to be admitted. Now he wants to attend a lecture on rule of law in Pakistan. So clearly, what ESG Tushar Mehta was stating, that the evidence that they submitted before the Supreme Court, along with the continuous pleas of Karti Chidambaram to allow him to travel abroad even for a matter of 4 to 5 days. In addition to which, we've also seen allegations of what exactly he undertook during June and July, when he had in fact gone abroad, where there are serious allegations by the CBI that he closed almost 67 bank accounts and that he still has bank accounts abroad that can be closed and evidence can be tampered with, which is why they're stating that he should not be allowed to go abroad. So definitely, Sakal, you're absolutely right in what you say, where Karti Chidambaram is definitely on a back foot here, trying to find a small window of opportunity, some relief that the Supreme Court gives him. But despite hearing after hearing, there seems to be no relief for Karti for now.
But when CBI stated, Nalini, that it is likely that he has another 6 to 7 accounts abroad, and it's a very strong rebuttal coming from CBI when they say that the documents state Karti closed almost 6 bank accounts in June, July this year. He went abroad. So in a way, he stands exposed in court, at least, as far as CBI's push for this is considered, that his travel stay, the abroad travel should not happen.
Definitely, Sagar. In fact, in response to this, the only argument that Kapil Sibal, who is the counsel for Karti Chidambaram in the Supreme Court, continues to make is that he has only one bank account. He does not have multiple.
Okay, so we will talk about this case. More and more trouble seems to be mounting for Karti Chidambaram, son of former Finance Minister P.C. Chidambaram. Well, in today's crucial hearing, there are some very scathing and important observations made by the Honorable Supreme Court when the sealed envelopes of CBI were opened today. Remember, in the previous hearings, in fact, Kapil Sibal was aggressively and vociferously requesting courts that these sealed envelopes should not be opened. But today it happened. The sealed envelopes were opened before the court. CBI's documents revealed that Karti Chidambaram actually closed almost 6 bank accounts. And this is something which, according to the CBI's counsel, happened in June, July this year when Karti was on a trip to UK. This is something Karti, in fact, he and his counsels have been pressing for not really stopping his foreign travel, particularly UK. Now, CBI has said that there are some serious allegations of evidence tampering as well. Next hearing in this INX Media case is scheduled for Thursday.